Summer is upon us here in Polk County, and everyone, of course, wants to remain safe and enjoy what they're doing. Even Grady Judd, I'm sure, is enjoying his time off this summer, going on vacations or what have you. But with that being said, I'm sure even he would appreciate some help, and said help is here with me right now. With me is Chip Brown of the Heartland Crime Stoppers. Chip, thanks for coming on today.
Tony, it's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Can you please talk to us a little bit about what the Heartland Crime Stopper program does?
Well, we have been incorporated since 1994 in Polk County. We actually cover Polk, Highlands, and Hardy counties. But basically, we take in tips, anonymous tips for people who have information on crimes or criminal activities. If that tip ends in an arrest, the recovery of stolen property, or the recovery of drugs, then that person is eligible for a reward of up to $1,000. And the really neat thing about this, a lot of folks are really apprehensive about wanting to give information on criminals or crimes. They're afraid of retribution from the criminals. If it's their neighbor, they're going to be concerned about maybe somebody slicing their tires or breaking into the house or doing stuff like that.
Which is fair, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this way, it's a guaranteed an anonymous program. When the people call, we don't ask their name, we don't ask their phone number, we don't record the conversations. We don't have caller ID, anything like that. It is completely anonymous. They are given a number, and that's how we communicate with them, and they have to call us. We cannot call them. And like I say, if that tip ends in an arrest, then they're eligible for a reward. And of course, it's based on the number of charges, the type of charges, stuff like that. But it's up to $1,000.
That's great. Can you go over a little bit with some of the numbers that you guys have made, even in the last month? I know you guys did pretty well with handing out some rewards.
Yes, we did. We had our board of directors approved in June of this year rewards totaling $14,630 in rewards, which went to 15 tipsters that had left tips. Now, these tips included information on drugs, people with outstanding warrants, convicted felons in possession of illegal weapons. We had highlighted that last month here at the show. And even a tip which solved a homicide from back in March of this year. So it was a very good month, and these 15 people are having got a total of $14,000 and some change.
That's great to hear. Now, I saw the Crime Stoppers of last month, and it featured the pink hair lady and a guy named T-Bird.
Yes.
Have we made a couple arrests from last month? Have those two in particular been caught? Can you disclose that?
Well, T-Bird, they're still looking for him as far as I know. On check to that this morning, they're still looking for him. The pink-haired lady has been identified. They have a name on her. She's actually from somewhere down around in the south area, on Riviera Beach is where she is, I believe. She had a couple other places that she was passing some counterfeit bills in Polk County. We do have an ID on her, and there are warrants issued for her. And actually, the Treasury Department has gotten involved, and there are some federal charges pending on her. So she's going to get to do some time in a really big house, looks like.
So it doesn't say pink-haired lady on her identification, I'm assuming?
Well, it did for a while, but now we've got a name to go with it.
Okay,
so we're glad to have that.
That's good news. You also, I heard you guys have more, every case is of course serious, but I heard there were a couple homicide cases that are still kind of pending. Would you want to go into depth about that? Yes,
we actually have two cold case homicides that we would like information on. The first one involves, it's a Winter Haven case. It occurred back in May 18th of 2010. Sherry Kirkendall was inside her apartment on that 751 Avenue O Southwest in Winter Haven, and she was shot and killed while she was inside her apartment. Now, we do have some information from the originating cases from Winter Haven that the suspect is possibly a tall, skinny white male with freckles. At that time had short blonde hair, around 30 to 40 years old, possibly, and with a possible nickname of Sport.
Sport.
As a nickname. Like I say, this has gone unsolved since 2010, and we would really like to get some information on this case. This particular case has an enhanced reward of $3,000. So if you have any information about who murdered Sherry Kirkendall, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-226-TIPS. That's 8477, 1-800-226-8477. Like I say, you'll be completely anonymous, and if your tip leads to the arrest of the person or persons responsible for the murder of Sherry Kirkendall, then you get a reward of up to $3,000.
And again, everything is anonymous. I'm sure that's, of course, of great comfort to everybody.
Absolutely, is guaranteed anonymous.
Yeah. Can you go a little bit into depth about some of the more recent crimes? You said there was also something that happened last month.
Yeah, we've had a couple of very recent cases that we have information on. One is kind of an ongoing saga that we've been having, and it involves the agricultural deputies with the sheriff's office. Since back in February, and we've had a number of cases where people have been stealing the agricultural diesel fuel from some of the area groves. The first one was on February the 18th, and again on May the 31st. And this one was located on Forest Lake Drive, which is US Highway 27 near the Heart of Florida Hospital in Davenport. We do have some pictures of two pickup trucks. One is a dark pickup truck, looks like a Ford F-250, maybe a 350 quad cab, and then there's a white Ford F-250 or 350 quad cab that you can see in the pictures. We've also had incidences of diesel fuel theft on Ellis Road in Bartow and also off Avon Park Road in Frostproof. There's also a picture, if you'll look at it, it's a picture of a fuel tank that actually has like a 6-inch hole that has been, drilled into the tank where they were siphoned, a lot of diesel fuel. Now, this is the red agricultural fuel. It's off-road fuel is what it is, but still, it has a high dollar amount, and it's an ongoing problem. We've also had trouble in the groves of people stealing newly planted citrus trees. And even in the Fort Meade Frostproof area, we have had almost 100 aluminum citrus ladders have been stolen earlier this year. So if you have any information on any of this theft of fuel from the groves, the theft of the trees, or even the aluminum ladders, please call us at 1-800-226-TIPS. Stay completely anonymous and make some money.
Okay, now back to rewards for a second, because I know everyone loves rewards, right? I think you told me that recent statistics came out in regards to some stats that you compiled in 2012 and even up to this year, and in 2013 you guys are doing a really great job from what I understand. Could you please tell our viewers what's going on with that?
Be glad to, Tony, absolutely. In 2012, Heartland Crime Stoppers, we received 1,823 tips. Of those 1,800 tips, we made arrest of 206, so 206 people were arrested on the tips that people had called into Crime Stoppers. That cleared 197 cases with agencies in Polk County and Hardy County. And we approved rewards of $49,000. $49,035 awards were approved for last year. And more importantly, we recovered stolen property and drugs valued at $191,760. So that was a pretty big year. Year to date so far in 2013, we have received, this is January through May, I should say, we have received 893 tips. We have made 111 arrests based on those tips that law enforcement has followed up on and made arrests, has cleared 83 cases, and we have approved and rewarded so far this year $20,995, almost $21,000 in rewards have been approved. And we've had some really big numbers as far as property recovered. We have recovered stolen property valued at $166,000. We have recovered drugs valued at $92,000. So our actual total recovery of drugs and stolen property merchandise is $259,000 worth of stolen property and drugs. So basically over $250,000 has been recovered, in drugs and property.
So it seems like you guys are recovering more more property and everything in 2013 over 2012. Is there any reason in particular for that?
Well, just people are being concerned and calling in information, and that's what it takes. It takes everybody being involved. You know, people wanting to get involved to make their community safer, a better place to live, better place to work. They can call us, stay anonymous, you know, and then we forward the tips to law enforcement. And it's their people that really go out and hit the streets and follow up on the tips and make these arrests. So it takes a community effort between the community, law enforcement, and the media to really make this thing work, and it's working very well. We're very proud of that.
So the community's doing a great job then. That's good to hear.
Absolutely, yes.
Last question for you, just a program that I heard about. Can you talk a little bit about the Student Crime Stoppers? What is that about?
Yes, we do have a Student Crime Stoppers or a Campus Crime Stoppers. We are in the middle and high schools, the public middle and high schools in Polk County. It is the same program. They leave anonymous tips, and the high schoolers and the younger generation are very good. We also have a way they can submit tips by texting. Of course, they're much better than some of us older folks are used to, but they can do it.
The young folks do like their texting. Yeah.
Indeed, they do, and unfortunately, having grandkids, I have to do that too to keep up with them. So, but they can text a tip in, stay completely anonymous. They can call it in. They can even go on the computer or the website and type it in by the web. Everything again stays completely anonymous. We don't record anything, just the information or how they got or what they know. The tips for the school kids, they're limited to $100, but it's still completely anonymous. The board approves the rewards, and we've had a very successful season with that. Last year, and I'm trying to remember the numbers off the top of my head, it seems like we had, I think it was 196 tips in schools that paid out. I think it was about $6,000 to the kids in Polk County. So.
Well, that's great. Polk County, you heard the man. It's a community effort to stop crime here, and with the numbers increasing with money recovered, we need to keep at it and keep doing our part as a community. So, Mr. Brown, thank you very much for being on our segment. It was very nice to have you today.
My pleasure, Tony. Looking forward to doing it again with you soon.
All right, cool. As of more information in regard to Crime Stoppers, they have a goal of resolving crime through anonymous tips and monetary rewards. It encourages a cooperative partnership between law enforcement, the media, and the community to ensure security and enhance our quality of life. It is a 24/7 program, so they are tireless workers. Their tip line is 1-800-226-TIPS or 1-800-226-8477. They are even cool enough to be on Facebook. All you have to do is type in Heartland Crime Stoppers Florida. Their website is heartlandcrimestoppers.com, and their head office is located in Winter Haven.